Welcome to Sincerely Bhakti. My name is Bhakti Lata, and today we are reading from chapter 6 of the Bhagavad-gita entitled Dhyana Yoga, verse 8. And we are exploring the beautiful science of self-realization. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. A person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi or mystic when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it be pebbles, stones, or gold, as the same. So Prabhupada begins his purport here with a zinger of a line. He says, book knowledge without realization of the supreme truth is useless. This immediately brought to mind my experience of completing my master's degree in New York City, and I was reading the treaties on education, many different types of philosophies and approaches to education from all of these scholars in the field. But when I was reading them, some of their thoughts rang so hollow because I thought, these people have probably never even stepped inside of a classroom, and they're talking about education. So why should I read their work? They don't come across as educators. They come across as philosophers. And so I thought, well, it's not only the discipline of education, it's any discipline in the academic setting, that there is just someone out there willing to philosophize for a lifetime and beyond. And I thought, where am I going to find truth that is not just fashionable or going to be refuted by some other scholar in the future or denied or argued about? Where do I find that supreme truth? And I decided to return to the Gita. And while I had heard the Gita my entire life and studied it in many different forms, I really felt like I came back to the Gita on my own accord, in that mood of sincerely seeking truth, because I had been absorbed in all of that knowledge. And I felt like I want something authentic and real. And so Srila Prabhupada writes here that you cannot realize the supreme truth unless you actually associate with someone who has realized the truth. So he writes here that you must be fortunate enough to associate with a person who is in pure consciousness. So you can read all of the books you want, including the Bhagavad-gita. If you do not associate with someone who lives the principles and acts those principles from the heart, from one's being, aligned with values, it's just going to be here in the brain, absorbed here, and never reach the heart and never align outward into one's actions and in life. And what is so powerful and beautiful about reading the Bhagavad-gita with commentary by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is that you get two in one. You get the book knowledge, but you also get the association of Srila Prabhupada just by reading his words. So it's so beautiful that he is not philosophizing. If you look at the life of Srila Prabhupada, you see that he lives his words. He lives his actions. It says here in the verse that someone who has knowledge, acquired knowledge, which is jnana, and also realized knowledge, which is vigyan, they are self-controlled. They actually have good character. They're not just colorfully spoken, well-spoken. And so Srila Prabhupada had incredible, impeccable character. And so that comes through in his writings. So if you just read this book with an open heart, it's a science. It will open up your own heart, because the title of this book is the Bhagavad-gita As It Is. Srila Prabhupada envisioned that his commentary would only illuminate what Krishna is saying. It is not meant to obfuscate the essential message that Krishna is trying to communicate to Arjuna, but ultimately to all of us, to all of humanity. So we can actually associate with Srila Prabhupada through his commentary. And you can read countless stories of people simply reading the Gita and becoming transformed. They're in some far-flung part of the world and they decide, I want to become a devotee of Krishna. I want to change my life, actually give up so many of these bad habits and incorporate good habits just by reading the Gita and this particular commentary, because it is jnana and vijnana in one. So it's just incredible. It's beautiful. And, it's wonderful because Prabhupada says here that, by mere academic knowledge, you can be easily confused by apparent contradictions. There are contradictions everywhere, including in the Gita, including in all scriptures. You can become confused and you think this is useless. One verse it says this, another verse it says this. It's just contradicting itself and it's all rubbish. I know several people who studied religion in college and actually became alienated from God and actually pushed away all religion. So by the study of it does not mean that you're actually going to transform. Transformation is the essence of true religion and true transcendental knowledge. And so we need to transform our mind and our hearts through the science of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada emphasizes here it's a science. And science does not mean a dry laboratory setting. Science simply means that it's a process that is replicable, that I can take these steps and apply it to my life and achieve a certain result. And that result is going to be love and joy and connection with God and with others. And so ultimately, though, that science must include connection with the devotees of God. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Hare Krishna.